Today's the day, the start of your sparkling summer. After hiding yourself away, you're ready to come out of your cocoon and spread your butterfly wings. You're ready to find your community, the people who just get you and make you feel loved and safe. You're ready for a love that doesn't judge, that you can be proud of, that you can show off, a once-in-a-lifetime love. Everything has led up to this moment, when you can finally live your truth. After years of adapting and modifying yourself to fit the mold, hating yourself for suppressing everything that makes you, you, it's time to let go of the past and step into the daylight. I want to be defined by the things that I love, not the things that I hate, not the things that I'm afraid of, the things that haunt me in the middle of the night. I just think you are what you love. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dion, and today we are going to talk about Taylor Swift's Lover album. I know I usually have my mic clipped to my chest, but when I did it with this dress, it would just like pull the whole thing down. So I'm back to the handheld vibe. I hope you guys don't mind. The past 2 weeks we've been discussing queer artists and fashion icons, and I wanted to switch a little bit and talk about Taylor Swift's Lover album. I haven't done the Lover album, I've done a lot of the other Taylor Swift albums, and like Folklore and Evermore, I've associated albums with certain months, and I definitely associate Lover with May, June, July, specifically June. Technically, the first single came out in April, and the official full album came out in August, but one of the main singles from the album came out in June, and it just feels very much like a June album. So if you like Taylor Swift or just niche fashion aesthetics in general, then definitely make sure to subscribe to this channel because I post videos every Thursday. And with that, let's get into it. So first, we're going to start with the Reputation to Lover pipeline, the Lover album itself, the themes of the album, the style and aesthetics of the album, and then how to get the look. Lover is Taylor Swift's 7th studio album and her first since departing Big Machine Records, who stole her masters and refused to sell them back to her. This album was supposed to be her coming out of the darkness of Reputation, an album about revenge and burning bridges, to a love like daylight and a sparkling summer tour called Loverfest. She began the era with, quote, Me, Out Now, for her first single, Me, releasing on my birthday, April 26, 2019. So a lot of people hate that song, and I get it, it's a little campy, it's a little childish, I understand, but Taylor released that for my 23rd birthday, and I don't want to hear it. April 26 also happens to be Lesbian Visibility Day. The second single was You Need to Calm Down, a cheesy queer anthem with the iconic line, "'Cause shade never made anybody less gay." And the music video for You Need to Calm Down was released June 14th. Taylor said this album was a love letter to love itself. All kinds of love. Platonic, romantic, familial, etc. Many fans looked at her rainbow pastel Instagram leading up to the album release, the quote, Me Out Now post on Lesbian Visibility Day, and the You Need to Calm Down music video release, wondering if Taylor was trying to tell us something. She said in her documentary, Miss Americana, which chronicled losing the Grammy for her Reputation album and working on Lover. When describing the Me music video in the documentary, she said, quote, "Then there's me. It's like dancers, cats, gay pride, people in country western boots, and I start riding a unicorn. Everything that makes me, me." You Need to Calm Down featured some of the most famous gays of 2019, including lesbian Jesus Hailey Kiyoko, the gays of Netflix's Queer Eye, YouTuber Hannah Hart, RuPaul Charles, Laverne Cox, and tons of drag queens. The music video also features her in a wig with the bisexual flag colors, a trailer with the lesbian flag colors, a gay wedding, and a painting of the Stonewall Inn. The music video finishes with a petition to sign the Equality Act and Taylor's endorsement of the Democratic Party. This album is a little bit hard because to speculate that somebody is straight is also speculating their sexuality. To assume that they're automatically straight is assuming somebody's sexuality, just like assuming somebody is gay or lesbian is also assuming their sexuality. And this album and the themes that I'm talking about, especially because it's Pride Month, people have a lot of opinions on, and it's hard to dance around what people are talking about. I am trying to keep my opinion on Taylor's sexuality to myself while also presenting the facts of this era, such as Me Out Now, posting on Lesbian Visibility Day, her extremely gay music video, and performing at Stonewall. I'm not trying to sway anybody's opinion either way, because I'm not trying to get into a fight within the fandom. This is about celebrating and loving Taylor Swift and loving yourself. But if we were to assume that Taylor Swift is straight, heterosexual, then she would be the first and only straight performer to ever perform at the Stonewall Inn. Stonewall doesn't have straight performers. They don't typically invite straight performers. That's all I'm saying. If you're not in the Swiftie fandom, gaylers/Kaylers and hetlers are always fighting. This might seem like, damn, she is dancing around this topic like it's a bomb. It's because within the fandom, it is. So, continuing on, other songs have queer themes such as Cornelia Street, the street in New York, which Taylor Swift purchased an apartment walking distance from her former bestie Karlie Kloss. While the apartment was being renovated, Taylor lived with Karlie. This theory got reinforced this past week when Taylor mashed up the song with Maroon, a song also heavily rumored to be about Karlie. Continuing on with the Pride Week confusion this week at the Eras Tour, she also did a mashup of a song, It's Nice to Have a Friend, and Dorothea. So I want to just break this down. Again, I'm not trying to sway anybody's opinion. I'm just trying to, if you're not a Swiftie, present the facts. And this is pertinent to the fashion, I promise. Well, obviously, because she's wearing rainbows and bisexual and lesbian flags. So obviously it's pertinent. In the fandom, Kaylor is the ship name for Karlie Kloss and Taylor Swift, people who love them together. So Cornelia Street, again, she bought that apartment in New York. It was very close to the High Line where Karlie Kloss lived, and they lived together for a while it was being renovated, and etc. The song Maroon from her Midnights album has a line that says, "The mark they saw on my collarbone, the rust that grew between telephones, the lips I used to call home, so scarlet it was maroon." The lips I used to call home, so scarlet it was maroon. This one is hard because I would like to raise you what man's lips are scarlet. But I'm only making this point because she mashed it up recently with Cornelia Street, which goes, I never lose you, I hope it never ends, I'll never walk Cornelia Street again. And she mashed it up with Maroon, which is, and I lost you, the one I was dancing with in New York. I'll get in more into the album. I also just want to touch on one other mashup, just to show that these themes of queerness are not only limited to this album, because a lot of people think it was like a performative, solely one moment in time album, and then she moved on. So that is why I'm just drawing some of these examples of the mashups she literally did this week in June during Pride. She has a song called It's Nice to Have a Friend, which is a story about best friends turning into lovers. She also has a story about Dorothea, about a friend and kind of falling out with that friend. However, if you're not in the gay community, you may not know that a friend of Dorothy means that you're gay, or it's a way of asking, are you gay, before that was really proper. So you'd be like, is he a friend of Dorothy? Or are you a friend of Dorothy? That is it was a way for gay people to signal to each other. Or saying, oh, we're good Judies, AKA good friends. Judy Garland was like the OG ally. So saying, oh, we're good Judies, I'm a friend of Dorothy, all of that is referencing Judy Garland, The Wizard of Oz, and queerness. The It's Nice to Have a Friend song obviously goes, it's nice to have a friend, and Dorothea is, hey Dorothea, do you ever stop and think about me? Very opposite songs, and she mashed it up to say, it's nice to have Dorothea. It's nice to have Dorothea. Kind of alluding to that those are about the same people. Okay, so we're gonna get back to the Lover album. I just wanted to put those anecdotes in just to show that it's not just from this album. These themes permeate in other albums as well, because It's Nice to Have a Friend is from Lover and Dorothea is from Evermore. She also has a song from Lover called Daylight, where she describes how she once believed love would be black and white or burning red, callbacks to her former albums, but it's golden. She and Taylor Nation continue to use golden love to describe sapphic love. Though the album is about love, there's a heavy sense of desperation. With the song about her mom, Soon You'll Get Better, her bartering to save her mom from cancer, to Afterglow, about her starting relationship fights. There's London Boy, which is about her boyfriend Joe at the time, Death by a Thousand Cuts, begging her lover to stay. It's romantic and cutesy and fun on the outside, but there's a heavy tone of anxiety and fear when you really listen to it. Like I said, she continued these themes in her albums after Lover, because Lover Fest was supposed to be in 2020. Obviously that canceled, and that's when she wrote Folklore and Evermore. Swift was often singing from the boys' perspective in Folklore and Evermore, the most damning of which being Betty from Folklore, Ivy, and Dorothea from Evermore. In her 10th studio album, Midnights, her lead single, Lavender Haze, had a music video featuring a trans man as her lover, and had Easter eggs in the music video for the Stonewall Inn, Daisy, Georgia. She called Carly Kloss Daisy. Big Sur, California, where her and Carly vacationed. Gayville, New York. Gaylord, Michigan. Kaler, South Dakota, which again is their ship name. All were Easter eggs in the Lavender Haze music video. There was like a weather thing, and those were the towns that it was over. And most recently, she mashed up this song from like 2016, This Is What You Came For, which she wrote and had vocals on, but it was performed by Rihanna and Calvin Harris. And that song goes, everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you. Ooh, ooh. And she mashed that up with Gold Rush, which is from Evermore and rumored to be about Carly only because the song goes, what must it be like to grow up that beautiful with your hair falling into place like dominoes? Carly's a model, and the boys that she's dated have not had long hair. So she mashed that up to go, everybody's watching her, but I don't like a gold rush, gold rush. So all very, very interesting. There is drama with Calvin Harris, but I wanted that for context because we're going to talk about a little bit about like queer baiting versus queer flagging, and I wanted to just give a little bit of context. Now we're going to get into the style, so hopefully I can get myself out of hot water. The entire Lover era is defined by pastels, rainbows, and sparkles. Pastel, yellow, pink, and blue, and clothing with rainbows everywhere. You see this in the music videos, her Instagram, the album cover, and tour outfits. Her outfits during this era were definitely polarizing, but they keep in Swift's style of millennial, a little cheesy, but fun. This era was so light and fun, and I think now is one of the best eras to dress up in. In the middle of the Lover release, where she donned so many pinks and rainbows and yellows and just like really had a strong, vibrant rainbow color palette, it was rumored that she was going to announce something. However, her masters got stolen. I mentioned that in the beginning of the video. After her masters got stolen, she wore rainbow, but a lot darker, wearing more black to show just how deep the sale of her life's work cut her to the core. Many believe that the stolen masters derailed a new era of Taylor, and she had to shift the goal to re-recording and going big with her new label, rather than what the original goal of Lover was supposed to be. Many believe the Lover era never really got to come out to full fruition because of that and the pandemic canceling Lover Fest. Many people have noticed that during the Eras tour, there's a lot of lesbian and bi flags in the way that she dresses, the sets, and the visuals. Naturally, during the Lover era, everything was rainbow, and she wore wigs with the bi flag, and many of her visuals were in the color of the bi or lesbian flag. I'm personally against like sitting somebody down or making a video coming out, because straight people don't come out, and the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind, is kind of my opinion on it. And so I think we pressure a lot of celebrities into coming out when they just wanted to like live their life. We saw this with like Billie Eilish, and we also saw this with Kit Connor. Both were accused of heavily queer baiting, and then eventually they were being like, yeah, I'm not queer baiting, I'm just like gay. I didn't really want to come out this way, but thanks. So I try to be like sensitive to that, because I don't really believe in, hello everybody, I'm coming out now. 2 weeks ago, we talked about Chapel Roan, who has songs written about men. I also said Chapel's name wrong that entire video. It's Chapel Roan, like a roan horse, not Chapel rowing, like rowing a boat. My cat's feeder went off and I had to let her out because she was gonna kill herself. But 2 weeks ago when we were talking about Chapel, I said she has songs about men, she's talked about men, but she says that, you know, she also identifies with lesbianism, bisexuality, etc. Recently, like this past week, she's like, I'm a lesbian. Showing that you can change, you can date men and still end up being a lesbian. There's plenty of lesbians out there who have dated men And also bisexuals exist, a thought that many people conveniently forget. I also think this whole idea of like queer baiting is so silly. I think it's something that maybe corporations do, but real people don't do that. I understand, like, on the one hand, people are like, it's cool to be gay. It's the cool, trendy thing to do. And it's maybe a little bit on the internet, but it's also still very polarizing and unsafe for a lot of people. You also still get bullied. You also still get called slurs. Like, even if you go to a very liberal city and a school in a liberal city, like that still happens. So this idea that people are like being gay for the clout is so gross. And I feel like it doesn't really allow people to just like live in themselves. Pride is about allowing space for people who haven't defined themselves yet, but feel at home in the queer community. Some may think she's the fiercest, loudest ally in the world. Some may say she's in a crystal clear glass closet and is giving us so many signs. I wanted to do this album during Pride for anyone who doesn't feel like coming out isn't safe, but they want to flag, who knows they're not straight, but doesn't know where they belong quite yet. No one should feel forced to wear their sexuality on their sleeve or to have a rigid view of their sexuality that is never allowed to change. You are allowed to come out as far as you want and feel safe to. And if that just means wearing clothing to flag your sexuality or not posting it for everybody to see in an Instagram or Facebook post, that's fine. Or if you want to do that, that's also fine. I mean, like, we want to support loud and proud queerness, but we don't also want people to force themselves to like make all these announcements. So obviously all like gay pride in general and queerness really informed this album and the aesthetics of this album, which is why I feel like it's so good for Pride. June to me is also such a colorful month, not only because of Pride, but things are in bloom and it's so beautiful. Summer festivals tend to happen in June and July, so people are in sparkles and glitter, and I feel like the Lover album aesthetic is just so fun and pretty for summertime. I know it doesn't seem like it, but give me that blue with that purple pink sky. You know, like I'm trying to do the flags, and like she has, you know, there's flowers. I once was poison ivy, but now I'm your daisy. Like, you know, I'm doing my best to keep in the theme and in the colors. I thought this dress was very lovery. One defining feature of this era was Taylor's dip-dyed hair. She had like fun little pink streaks in her hair for a while. It was very, very cute. And I think dip dye is just so cute for the summer. I did it back in the day, and if I still had blonde tips, I would do it again. I think it is very, very cute. Obviously, another huge part of this era is flagging. So if you're a gay guy wearing the gay pride colors, like dark blue, that teal blue, and that like white would be cool. Or the lesbian pride, or the bi pride flag, or rainbow, or any pride flag that describes you, even if you're like ace or aromantic. I think it's cool how you can do that with colors. And if you go to a pride parade and you don't just want to wear like Target's rainbow collection, you can do it in a way that's a little bit more subtle and maybe fashionable. But rainbows are everywhere in this era, so if you want to get all rainbow-rific, that is also always a good move for the Lover era. Pastels especially, like pastel rainbows, light kind of watercolored, washed out rainbows, so gorgeous. Love motifs like hearts, arrows, that kind of thing. She has a glitter heart around her eye on the album cover, so that is also a really cute thing to do for Pride. If you wanted to, you can even do the glitter in your flag colors or whatever, but I think that's really, really cute in general. Butterflies are a common theme for Taylor in general, especially in her first album, but for the Lover era, a lot of it was this like coming out as a butterfly, coming out of your cocoon and everything. So butterflies are also a really cute motif for the Lover album. Glitter, 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 and sparkles, as always. When we're talking about Taylor Swift, that girl loves sparkles. And being as out loud and gay as you feel comfortable. Maybe not as possible, but as you feel comfortable. And if that's flagging, or if that is screaming it from the mountaintops, that is okay. So I hope you guys like this video. You guys know how much I love Taylor Swift. The Lover album really does mean a lot to me. I think it's so pretty. I love that she gave me on my birthday, and there are some absolute bangers on that album. If you have not heard it yet. And if you're not a Taylor Swift person, I hope at least this gives you some ideas for Pride and what to wear to Pride. I think this is a really cute album for Pride inspiration in general. If you did like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to this channel because I post videos every Thursday. I also have a playlist with Taylor Swift albums and a Pride playlist if you want to check those out. And follow me on TikTok and Instagram for even more content. I also have a Patreon where I did a whole Taylor Swift album ranking if you want to check that out as well and support this channel at the same time. And with that, have a happy, happy day. Bye!